What is that stance? Huh. That gun.
Ocelot is always just one step behind Snake throughout Operation Snake Eater, always nipping at his heels. Is this because Ocelot is one of Metal Gear Solid 3's main villains, as the game would lead you to believe? Or does Ocelot have some other goal driving him? Today, we're talking all about what Ocelot was doing in MGS3 Operation Snake Eater, and why. Special thanks to Zuiji6087 for suggesting this topic. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Luffy and welcome to my channel. I talk video games and character analysis, so if that's your thing, subscribe and stick around. If you like what I do here, consider supporting me on Patreon or becoming a channel member so that I can continue to bring these videos to you weekly. This video is part 2 in a series about Ocelot, so if you missed part 1, I'll have it linked in the description for you to check out. Let's dive into Ocelot's life and what his true goals were. Operation Snake Eater. Snake's life is on the line. The Virtuous mission went south when Vulcan fired an American-made nuke at a Soviet research facility, thus making it seem like the US had launched a nuke against the Soviet Union. In order to prove the US's innocence, the CIA tasked Snake with eliminating the boss, the person who supplied Vulcan with the nuke, eliminating Vulcan, and destroying the Shagohod. Snake's also supposed to rescue rocket scientist Sokolov, and when he discovers the Philosopher's Legacy, a microfilm that holds $100 billion, it'd be good on him to bring that home for the CIA as well. As we went over in our previous video about Ocelot, Ocelot is a spy working for the CIA and the KGB, organizations that are secretly controlled by the Philosophers. Ocelot's orders are to ensure Snake's mission is a success, recover the Philosopher's Legacy and hand it over to the CIA, and keep his cover as a KGB spy to continue his role as a KGB contact for the CIA. Originally, Ocelot is meant to be Snake's contact from within Vulcan's rank during Operation Snake Eater, though Eva intercepts Snake before he can make contact with Ocelot and masquerades as Snake's contact. Eva's interference changes Ocelot's role from overt ally to covert, which really complicates things in MGS3 at first glance. Ocelot attacks Snake multiple times throughout Operation Snake Eater, though if we take a closer look at these ambushes, we see how Ocelot could have been trying to help Snake instead of harm. The first encounter is the morning after Snake and Eva meet up. He strolls in intending to meet Snake as his contact, but Snake attacks him and his unit instead. The confrontation results in Ocelot taking Eva hostage and taunting Snake with his new engraved Colt Single Action Army revolver, though he miscounts his bullets. When Ocelot tries to shoot Snake, it's revealed his revolver is empty, which gives Eva and Snake the opportunity to reverse the situation, and Ocelot has to run away from the pair lest he be shot. Did Ocelot mistakenly miscount his bullets? Or did he purposefully feign naivety at the reduction in capacity his new gun brought to the table? Ocelot miscounting his bullets meant he had another believable excuse as to why he couldn't shoot Snake at point-blank range and end his mission. The first being when he jams his gun during the Virtuous mission. The second encounter is a boss battle outside of a giant crevice. The crevice is where Snake is supposed to drop down into a cave to make his way towards a lab. Why does Ocelot confront Snake outside of this crevice? If he's his support, why waste time fighting him? To me, the crevice isn't immediately noticeable, so maybe Ocelot is there to get Snake to pump the brakes and jump into the crevice. Or he had to fight Snake to keep his cover story with Vulcan. Ocelot laments, "He found us," when the Pain's Hornets show up and start wreaking havoc, and it's the Hornets that get Snake to jump into the crevice. Maybe Ocelot left a trail of breadcrumbs to get the Pain to interrupt the boss battle and get Snake to jump into the crevice? Is Ocelot crafty enough to set that up? Later, Ocelot has an artistic awakening when Snake is captured by Vulcan and interrogated. Ocelot is well known for two things: his flair with revolvers and his flair for interrogation. Both of these key pieces of his personality develop in Metal Gear Solid 3. Ocelot admires Vulcan's technique and says,
It's really not that bad. It's the ultimate form of expression.
During this interrogation, Vulcan demands that the boss cut out Snake's eyes to unmake him as a soldier. First, Ocelot stops the boss just as she's about to do it, and then Ocelot makes a huge scene where he accuses Eva of being a spy. He tests her by juggling his revolvers and firing at her, though Snake crashes into Ocelot to prevent him from shooting her and ends up getting one of his eyes shot out. Was this on purpose or on accident? On the one hand, these shenanigans satisfy Vulcan and Snake's able to keep one of his eyes. On the other, Ocelot shot out one of Snake's eyes. How does that help him support his mission objective? What do you think? Did Ocelot purposely shoot out Snake's eye, or was it an accident? Snake escapes from Vulcan's clutches and Ocelot is the one to chase him down. Conveniently, Ocelot's revolver is empty and he loads his emotional support bullet from their first encounter into the chamber and spins it shut. Because he spins the chamber, the bullet isn't loaded into the slot that's next to be fired, giving Snake the chance to escape capture. This is too obvious of a mistake to make, and I'm sure Ocelot did it to purposefully give Snake time to escape. There are so many circumstances Ocelot has done this now that it couldn't have been on accident. The final encounter between Snake and Ocelot is when Vulcan confronts Snake to fight him. Ocelot outright refuses to shoot Snake when Vulcan starts to lose the fight, saying he'd made a promise to the boss. Regardless of whatever promises he made, shooting Snake would go against his mission directives. He hasn't shot Snake up until this point, so why would he start now? After the fight with Vulcan, Vulcan hops in the Shagohod to chase Snake down and Ocelot joins the chase. Despite all the fancy gunplay we see Ocelot demonstrate up until this point, he still never lands a single shot on Snake. Not even in the beginning when Snake was a still target and Ocelot was only a few yards away. Ocelot chasing down Snake and putting on a big show of trying to end him helps keep up his cover story of being a KGB spy. Why else would he chase Snake down, knowing he wasn't allowed to actually shoot him? At the end of MGS3, when Snake's mission is successful and he no longer needs Ocelot's support, Ocelot reveals to him in his own way that he was never his enemy. He freely tells him his name is Ademska, Adam was Snake's original contact for this mission, and that the bullet he'd been carrying around and threatening him with had been a blank from the very beginning. Ocelot's mission to support Snake is a success, and he's able to recover half of the legacy and hand it off to the CIA, all while keeping his cover as a KGB spy and so a CIA contact within the KGB. Post-Operation Snake Eater. Following Operation Snake Eater, many of the people involved were devastated to have lost the boss. The boss had a huge impact on the lives of those she met, and many wanted to chase her dream of uniting the world. Major Zero, Snake's commanding officer in MGS3, formed the Patriots. The Patriots were the successors to the Philosophers, and like the Philosophers, were a shadow organization meant to control the US covertly. Ocelot was recruited to work for the Patriots, along with many others who worked in Operation Snake Eater, including Snake. By this point, Snake had won Ocelot's undying loyalty, and so when Snake and Zero had a falling out, Ocelot stayed loyal to Snake. Snake left the Patriots, though Ocelot stayed behind to act as Snake's double agent. Beyond his work within the Patriots, Ocelot honed his interrogation craft and earned the moniker Shalashaska, which was a combination of Sharashka and Shashka.
You know the term Sharashka? It's slang for a suspicious, hastily thrown together organization. The word became associated with a type of forced labor facility in the Soviet Gulag system. Shashka. It's a sword, a type of saber from the Caucasus. Now, the Russian Empire had a general by the name of Fyodor Arturovich Keller. His bravery earned him the nickname Russia's greatest Shashka.
As Venom puts it,
So half Gulag, half hero sword.
above Ocelot's work with the Patriots and his work within honing his interrogation skills is Ocelot's loyalty to Snake. Your thoughts? Whether or not Ocelot's mistakes throughout Operation Snake Eater are actually mistakes or carefully executed plans is hotly debated. We took a poll here on YouTube asking whether or not Ocelot purposefully messed up in his encounters with Snake or if it was all just mistakes, and in a landslide, y'all voted that it was a little of both, which I get. It's super interesting to me that the other options, Ocelot pretended to make mistakes and Ocelot truly made mistakes in MGS3, are neck and neck. It speaks to what a skilled operative Ocelot is that it's unclear whether his mistakes were purposeful or not. Force21153 commented, "At the beginning of the game, yeah, genuine mistakes of a youngster trying to show off. During sewer sequence, no, he intended to let Snake go while making everyone believe he made a mistake. He's a triple crosser. Making people believe one thing while doing completely the opposite is his specialty." It's definitely Ocelot's specialty to make people believe one thing while he does another. It's why trying to determine if what he does throughout the series is true or has ulterior motives is so much fun. My own opinions on what's on purpose and what's on accident with Ocelot changes. I started out this video thinking he'd made a lot of mistakes, but ended it in full tinfoil hat mode, now believing everything was a clever ruse. Ellen Frosty371 commented, "I mean, how can someone account for everything like that? Some things for certain were set up, like the very beginning when Snake and Sokolov are surrounded, but getting a tire to the face by Eva was definitely not part of his plan." And yeah, okay, I know I just said I think Ocelot did everything on purpose, but I take it back. I don't think taking a motorcycle to the face was part of the plan. XXXX, two first names 69420XXXXX commented, "Nah dude, he was on top of it. From his gun jamming to making BB think it was his idea that inspired him to use revolvers, he was on top of it." I'd never thought about Ocelot taking a liking to revolvers being a part of his plan. Personally, I think Snake genuinely inspired an interest in revolvers for Ocelot, though it does make me wonder how that could have fit into his plans. Y'all had a lot of really interesting things to say about Ocelot and whether or not he made mistakes throughout MGS3, or if everything he did was purposefully planned. Let me know in the comments if you still believe what you do about Ocelot's motives and mistakes, or if your opinion has changed. Through our first playthrough, Ocelot seems solidly like a villain. He's a boss we have to face off against, and at every turn, he seems like a thorn in Snake's side, popping up when you least expect him to try and capture or kill Snake. The twist that Ocelot was actually helping us throughout Metal Gear Solid 3, and was tasked with ensuring Snake's mission was a success, wasn't a twist I saw coming. What about you? Did you think Ocelot was a villain in MGS3, or did you suspect he may be double-crossing the KGB and Volgin? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for making it to the end of today's video. If you liked it, share it with someone who wants to know more about Metal Gear Solid lore. If you need more MGS content, check out my Patreon or become a channel member. I upload articles I write on upcoming videos or just thought pieces on MGS in general. Or join us in Discord, we're always talking about MGS. More importantly than that though, please take care of yourself and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Thank you. Special thank you to our $10 Patreon, Nader Najat. Thank you so much for your support.